And we are live. So I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on YouTube. Hi, guys. I'm Sean, and this is Herman. He's my guest tonight. We are going to talk about relapse before prison, after prison, what it's worth. We're just going to talk. And if you guys want to chime in, and you can even, I'm going to tell you this, if you want to call in something new I'm doing, there's the phone number. You can call in. We'll put you on the speakerphone. We give you 5 minutes. And you can leave a comment. You can ask a question. In the meantime, Herman Delgado's here. He is the director of Thresholds. And that's a program that helps people coming out of prison, helps them get started in life, helps them turn it all around. But you got to want it. As me and Herman were talking about. Herman even goes into prison before you get out. And he works with you there. And he'll pick you up at the gate. He is there. This guy, Herman, has been on my channel a few times. With Herman, I love you. I've come to know him. I know him in person. And Herman's just a man of God, and he's out there to help you. So let me introduce Herman. What would you? I'm going to give you the floor.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that incredible introduction. It's good to be here with you and talk about this topic. It's a serious topic, and it's one of the main issues that impacts people trying to get out of the prison system, as well as when they get out. Relapse is a big issue, and then even prior to going to prison, it's a big issue. I know a lot of your participants and folks that are involved in your programs are pre sentencing or pre prison. So the issue is how you're going to deal with this problem. I mean, so let's talk about that today. I got some.
I mean, what 90% of people going to prison have a drug problem. 90% of people won't admit it, but it's true. Now they have this in the state prison system. Now you get busted shoplifting or whatever. They let you out on OR, which means your own recognizance. They're not, the bail system's kind of not really happening now. They just let you out. So now you're sitting even in the state system and you're waiting to go to prison. While you're waiting, that's what we're going to talk about. Now it's time to change your life. Not once you get out, not once you get there. You change it now. I'm just saying.
And that's the most difficult thing, because you're waiting to get sentenced, or you're waiting to go in. And, a lot of people's mentality and attitude is, what the hell? I'm going anyway. Let me go ahead and use, or
I'm going to get a high every day until I go to prison. Right, yeah.
Right. And it makes the situation worse, because if you do something stupid prior to your being sentenced, they're just going to add more time to you, or you're going to have more charges against you that you're going to have to deal with, and they're not going to be lenient. I mean, and you've discussed this with your folks, that if they change prior, okay, to going before the court and showing the court that they have changed and they are changing, their sentences can certainly be modified, and they could possibly spend less time locked up.
I mean, the judge is going to see it. The prosecutor's going to see it. The DA, the lawyer's going to see it. You're going to see it. Your family's going to see it. There is a change that happens if you can get off drugs before you go to prison. If you can change your ways, your thinking. I know you're angry. You didn't do it. It's wrong. They set me up. You got all those feelings, but once you get past that, you got to take accountability. You got to accept what you did. You really do. You're going to prison, okay? You got to accept it. And we're going to talk about when you get out, and that's a whole nother story. We got 5 people in watching right now, so that's great. So thank you. Maybe we can reach out to one of you. You know what I mean, Herman?
Yep.
And
I know guys, exactly what you mean. If you get involved in recovery activities prior to your incarceration, you're going to go in to prison with a different attitude, and the time that you're going to spend there, you're going to spend it with a different mindset. If you go in with that negative attitude and mindset, that's what you're going to experience while you're locked up. A lot of negativity. If you go in saying, I'm going to change and I'm going to start before I go in, you already ahead of the game. There's no question about that.
And if you got a family, you got kids or wife or a husband, they're going to see the change in you too. And you know what that benefit is? They might be there when you get out of prison. And I say that because a lot of guys, I've been to prison, and a lot of guys, their wife isn't there when they get out. Your kids kind of are there. They're going to stick with you. But even then, you know, that woman that you married, that you took that vow for better or for worse, well, when the for worse comes, she doesn't always wait for you. And most of the times, you're going to do more than 2 years in prison, 3 years in prison. She's not going to be there for you when you get out. That's just the reality of it. But if you can change your ways now, she may just wait for you.
Well, she's going to see that you're changing. See, one of the big issues when folks go to prison is that you lose trust. You lose the trust of your spouse, of your children, of your family. They don't trust you.
No.
Why? Because you've been lying, you've been conning, you've been playing games, you've been manipulating, and you can't be trusted. So this is an opportunity for you to start showing that you're going to change in a positive way. They're still not going to trust you right away. It's going to take time for them to trust you. They got to see you sober. They got to see you making some serious changes in your attitudes, in your behavior, in the way you think, the way you talk. When you're sober, your mind clears up.
Yes, promises. They've been hearing that all your life. And now you're going to prison. And now you're going to prison. You think they believe you?
That's right. So that, you know, the issue of trust is a big issue. The other one that people have to address is being honest. You know, if you're not honest, and that's a hard thing to do, because if you've been conning and playing people all along to try to, you know, become honest, that's one of the hardest things on the planet. Because number one, they don't trust you. And here you are trying to be truthful and honest and, you know, sincere. And in the beginning, it's going to be like you're hitting a wall. But the issue is you trying to really sincerely, from the depths of your soul, be honest and begin to change your attitudes about what you're doing and how you're doing it and about your family. Taking responsibility is another issue. Taking responsibility for your crap. You have more than the time we hate all the chaos in our lives. And the idea is to really then, you know, take responsibility for the chaos that we've created. It's not easy, because we have to humble ourselves. We have to be honest, humble ourselves and say, okay, I've messed up in my life. I've done this and I've done that. And, you got to try to make amends. But honesty is a big issue. You know, so again, the trust, the honesty, trying to learn to tell the truth. It's really complicated. It's really hard.
Listen, I got a message on the screen there. It says, call in live now, 341-400-2425. I'm going to dare you. There's 5 people watching. I'm going to dare you to call in the show right now. Come on live and let's talk. I know most of you guys that watch this channel, you've got loved ones getting ready to go to prison. You're getting ready to go to prison. Call in live. Let's talk. Let's talk. We're here for you, man. We're on your side. If you're watching these videos because you're surfing around, you know you're going to prison, and you're looking, you found my channel. Call in right now. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Who can name that movie?
Well, you know
that movie. I double dog dare you. Do you remember that one?
You double dog. Do the deputy dog. You know, this is the first step in your new self.
Yeah.
You got to change yourself from your old nasty, how manipulative self to someone that's really trying to change. And by coming on the show and talking about your issues, that's the other thing, is you got to let it out. You got to let out all your stuff. You can't hold it in. So this
we got
is
7
a good
people
way.
in the room now.
Great. This is a good way to connect and begin to change. It's not easy. It's not easy. Anything that's bad is easy to do. The good things that are gonna benefit you, they get complicated and it takes time. But I can go have a drink right now. That's easy. It's a piece of cake. Go smoke a joint, and then from there do a little coke, do whatever. Next thing you know,
let me get a bump in the morning. I get it, man. I remember all that. You know where it got me? Eventually, I went to prison, and it's not because I got caught, I got unlucky, or no. It was inevitable. It was going to happen. And the thing is, well, I don't want. I'm not here to preach, but I'm trying not to. But let me if there's 8 people in the room now. So if you just got here, this is Herman Delgado. Now he runs a program called Thresholds. Herman is the guy that he goes to the prisons and talks to inmates before they get out. He has shown up at the gate to pick them up. He'll get you housing. He'll get you a job. He'll do all the things that people need when they get out of prison. If you're willing to try to change, just try to change. You don't have to. This guy is a man of God. He's a good friend of mine. I know him in person. I've met with him. I see him all the time. And I just want to reintroduce you, Herman, because some of these people just came in now. And all his information is underneath the video for Thresholds. Now, we're out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. But even if you're not in New Mexico, give Herman a call. You got to start somewhere. You got to build that network. I care. Herman cares. There's a group of people out here in the world that really care about you. We know you committed the crime. You're going to prison. There's people, we want to help you, okay? We're not your lawyers. We're not your judges. We're not here to judge you. We've been where you're at, and we just want to help you. I don't know if I've said enough, Herman, but.
No, I think you hit it right on the head. Our program is a spiritually based program. We consider ourselves spiritual companions. And the way the program works is we go into the prisons and we talk about the program. It's a re-entry program for men and women coming out of prison. Idea is to be assigned 2 or 3 people that will mentor you once you get out of prison, and they'll work with you. And like you indicated, Sean, we help folks reintegrate back into the community and get jobs and, housing, and reconnect with family, or help people stay away from family. I mean, if, your family's drinking and drugging, you don't need to be around your family. What are you doing? If you're going to go and leave, the facility and go back to your old neighborhood, go hang out with your old buddies and get back into criminality, well, guess what? You're going back to the, joint. You're going to get locked up again. If you want to make a change in your life, you got to take some serious major steps. It's not easy, but you can do it.
It's not easy.
We have thousands of people that have been able to change their lives, have left prison, have improved their lives, have connected to their families, to their children. Many of the women we've worked with have gotten back their children because the kids were taken away and put in foster care. So the idea is to really make a commitment to change. And now is the time to do that.
So I don't mean to sidetrack Herman, but speaking of women going to prison, so I got a call last night from Angie. She just got out of prison 4 days ago. I'm going to give you the plug here. Now, she's already started a prison channel for women. She got out and she wants to help women. She called me to thank her because I helped her get in some programs. So she had a 30-month sentence. She got out in 9.5 months. with RDAP, First Step Act, and all that. And she said that had a lot to do with that. She did it all. I was just there to coach her through this. But this is a link to her channel. It's called Tea Talk, Prison Stories. And the link's up there if you guys can support her, because she's only got 8 subscribers now. She just started the channel yesterday. I told her I'd help her out. She's going to come on my channel here real soon this week. And she's got a lot of information for women going to prison in the federal system, what it's like and all that, and how she got through it and all the programs and all that. And she's so grateful. She's come out such a better person. Before she went to prison, you know, I worked with her. I coached. So we did video calls where I kind of role played. I was the judge and she was the person getting sentenced. And then we switched roles. And I helped her with that last day of sentencing, when you get that 5 minutes or 10 minutes to talk to the judge about, you know, what, you know, Your Honor, I don't deserve to go to prison. Here's why. All the little, I don't want to, well, anyways, I helped her with that. I helped her write some character reference letters for her family to send to the judge. I did a lot of help for him, which I'll do for you guys. Call me. My number's on the screen. I'm always willing to help you guys. And Herman's another guy that'll help you with all that stuff, getting through prison. But when you get out of prison, you know, that's when it's all behind you. And this lady wants to help other people. And so she worked on herself while she was in prison. She took programs, classes. She did everything that you can, but she started before she went to prison. She started to change. And anyways, her channel's up there. I'm going to plug that. And then I'm going to triple dog dare you to call the show right now. Call 341-400-2425. Talk to me or Herman. And Herman, I don't mean to keep interrupting you, but, you know, anyways, I'm going to pass it on to you, Herman.
Now, listen, was that young lady from New Mexico, or where was she from?
She was from San Leandro, California, but her husband moved up to Seattle, where she had to go do her prison time, and her husband waited for her. Now, okay. But and she's also going to AA, and she's in recovery, and she's clean and sober. She had a problem with marijuana, but she's using AA. Not to say NA is bad, but AA has the results. But whatever program worked, and you don't have to do AA. You can do therapy. There's other support groups. I think there's something called the Circle. There's a whole bunch of AA is not the only way out, guys. It doesn't have to be that. I mean, it can be, God will help you. You can go to church. There's lots of ways to change your life and change if you have an addiction problem or an alcohol problem. It doesn't have to, I like AA. It worked for me. It doesn't work for everybody. There's lots of other alternatives out there. You know, and you don't even have to go to any of them, but you got to do something, because you're watching this channel and I know you're probably going to prison, or you got somebody in prison. So it doesn't have to be AA. Hopefully it's God, but it doesn't even have to be God. You know, I'm not here to preach any of that to you, but me and Herman are here to help you find a way.
Yeah. Well, you know, what we find, Sean, is that developing your spirituality is one of the most important things in recovery. And when we talk about recovery, that means that we're trying to change our lives from having negative things happen to us, either because we choose to do that. In other words, we choose to get high or whatever, or there's circumstances in our lives that, you know, throw us for a loop, like mental health issues and those kinds of things. You don't ask to be depressed. You just, hey, life throws things at you and you get depressed. But you can get into recovery from those things. And I differ a little bit than you, Sean, about treatment. Treatment works. I've seen it work for hundreds of people. You gotta get involved in some kind of treatment situation. And you mentioned it, self-help groups, including AA, NA, CA, those are all excellent. You have Celebrate Recovery is another.
Yes, Celebrate Recovery. Yeah. Right, that's another one.
Yeah, you got there's even a program called a 16-step program that was developed by a woman named Castle. She's a recovering alcoholic who happens to be a psychologist. And she said, well, maybe these 12-step programs don't work for women. So let me create something special for women. and she created a 16-step program.
Wow.
So yeah, it's great. So there are programs out there. If you can get into a treatment program specifically for your problem or your issue, that's the way to start changing your life.
Yeah, maybe we could talk about sober living house. I know you have connections. I have connections in the San Francisco area for sober living houses, but I'm here in Albuquerque. But Herman here, but there's Oxford House, but there's a few others. But if there's sober living, that's an option. Even before you go to prison, I did that before I went to prison. Changed my life. It's not for everybody because you're going to go live with a whole group of people. And if you have a family, you might want to leave them yet because you're going to prison. But when you get out of prison, you need to think about where you're going to live, and you're going to be on probation or parole. And we were going to get into that because that's going to be tough because you're going to be peeing in a cup probably twice a week for the first 6 months. And in Albuquerque and in San Francisco, if you think you can get away with having a beer on a Friday night because they're not going to test you till Monday, guess what? They have an 80-hour test now. So there's a 6-panel strip on these cups. Sometimes there's a 12-panel. Well, there's the 13th panel, like the 13th step. 80 hours on alcohol. So if I have a beer on a Friday night, I'm going to come up dirty on Monday in that pee cup. It's going to show that I had a glass of wine on Friday night. And guess what? They're not going to slap me on the hand. They might give me an opportunity to go to a treatment program, but with my record, I'm going back to prison, guys. I don't want that to happen to you. And in the federal system, you normally get 3 years federal probation. In the states, you get 1 year parole. And most of the time, you can't even drink. Let alone, I know marijuana is legal, but it's not legal for you. So, you need to think about that. Just getting out of prison, it's not over. It's not over.
And I tell folks that, have a history of drinking and drugging, and they go into the prison system and they say, well, I was sober in prison. I didn't drink a drug. That's if you don't drink a drug in prison. And you know as well as I do that you can get whatever it is you want in prison. So you can keep getting high even though you're locked up. But that's not honest recovery work. Getting back to the issue of honesty and getting people to trust you, etc. That's not being honest. Well, the idea is you gotta make the choice deep down, sincerely, that you're gonna stop this negativity, the drinking, the drugging, the criminality, because criminality, it can be your addiction. Writing bad checks. That's something that's pretty addictive. You can write back checks, you go do whatever it is you want, rip off people and their credit cards and go shopping and all kinds of stuff. That's addictive behavior as well. So the idea of recovery is that you get involved in a program that's going to help you address whatever the issue is for you. Could be prostitution, men and women. Men and women.
And men, yeah.
That's right, because where I come from is both. Most people think of it's only women, but hey, there's a lot of brothers out there prostituting.
The world's changed. It's Yep,
that's addictive behavior. And when you go into recovery, the idea is to deal with this obsessive, uncontrolled activity that you're performing, this behavior that you've gotten involved in that makes you think you feel good, and at the end, you end up locked up in solitary for a couple weeks for your little nasty attitude.
In the shoe,
Yep.
I got a bunch of comments here. I clicked the wrong. I didn't notice I had them. So let me read all these. Katrina says, hi, Sean and guest. TJ says, hello, Sean. Hey, TJ. And Katrina says, prosecutor will use anything they can against you at sentencing. And TJ says, yes, I agree. I'm expecting the prosecutor to dog me out when I get sentenced in 2 weeks. And TJ with the super, TJ, God bless you. TJ just gave me a super chat, guys, a $5 super sticker. So if you guys don't know what that is, they're super chats and super stickers. They started $1, but TJ, God bless you, man. You help support. Matthew, I haven't seen you in a while. What do you think the CNA, the con says? I can't read that word. What do you think the CNACESZ? I'm not sure what that means, but Matt, it's good to see you back. Let me see. I got a bunch more here. Katrina says, call in, TJ. TJ, 400-341-2425. She's daring you, and I double dog dare you, TJ. Call in the show. Matthew says, what do you think the chances of getting your right to bear arms restored after sentencing is complete? And I got more to go on, but I'm going to stop there because I feel I did my time, right? I served my, I did my sentence. I did my time. I did my debt to society, and mine was wire fraud. I'd like my gun. I'd like a gun if I want. I'd like the right to have it. That's never going to happen in my lifetime. Well, I take that back because I never thought I'd see the day where marijuana is going to be legal, and it is. So, Katrina says, Matthew, 0 if you have a felony. Alan, hey, Alan, you're in the room. Hey, Sean, Alan's another guy that I've been kind of talking to. Oh my God, it's my cousin, Lori Carson. Glad you're doing better, cousin. Lori, family. This is my mom's side. Okay, this means the world to me. Lori, I hope you're still on here. Because my dad's side of the family, Lori, I'm really close with them now. My cousins, my Aunt Molly and all that. My mom's side of the family, you guys, I never thought you guys would talk to me again. And I have this, I'm going to have tears in my eyes. This Lori, it means the world to me because I really miss you, cousin. And yeah, I'm going to cry now because, I went to prison. I screwed up my life, Lori. I got this channel. I work for an organization. We're trying to help people get out of prison. And I'm doing everything I can in my life with God and everything to, help make the world a better place. If I can just help one person. And Lori, the fact, God, you're going to make me cry because you're part of my mom's side of the family that I thought would never, ever talk to me again. And here you actually are. Oh, you're watching me from Facebook. So Lori, I miss you. My number's on the screen on all these videos and stuff. Lori, I'd love to talk to you. And I'm going to cry, guys. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. I miss Lori. She's my cousin on my mom's side. See, guys, you go to prison. If you turn your life around and you do the right thing and you help other people, that family you thought you would never get back in your life, there she is. That's one of them. I'm going to cry here. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. TJ, I'm just listening. I've been sober 20 months. I don't have a problem staying clean. Yes, God bless you, TJ. And Katrina says, TJ, I don't think you have to talk about that. Not sure. Well, that's what we're talking about right here. Oh, my cousin Lori. Let me see what she says. I was just in Albuquerque last month. Oh, man. Wish I would have known you were there. I would have loved to see you. How long have you been there? Good to see you. Patrick, when I listened to an older podcast. Yeah, so my brother has got almost a year clean and sober now. He got, he messed up. He went to jail. He was at a motel. He was high on meth and playing his electric car loud. And it was 3 a.m. They called the cops on him. The cops came and they found all the drugs in the room. But he resisted arrest. And one thing led to another. And they were going to give him a year in prison or a drug program, a Christian drug program that he found. And he's still there and he's doing great today. And he's clean and sober. And he's turning his life around. And I had him on my show. And God, Lori, oh my God, guys, I'm going to cry because this is my cousin Lori, who I haven't seen in 20 years. And I thought that side of my family, didn't want nothing to do with me. And you see, your family could come back to you, guys. Wow. Sorry, Katrina says, Sean, did you say tea talk for her channel? TEA talk, like drinking tea talk. Yeah, and I'll put her link up there again. Yeah, tea talk, TJ. And Matthew says, BTW. Oh, by the way, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And Katrina says, thanks, TJ. And I'm caught up on the comments. All right, Herman. I'm sorry. I'm just getting almost crying here because of my cousin Lori. And oh man, you guys don't know what that means. I thought that other side of the family didn't want nothing to do with me. And I'm crying now, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's what happens. That's what happens, Sean. You know, they don't trust you. They don't want to be around you, and when you go into recovery, when you start getting yourself together, it might take years.
It's
but
been
you know
years.
what?
Yeah.
You know what? People reconnect, and once they know you're serious about your recovery, that you're taking care of yourself, that you're trying to help others, people will reconnect with you. As you may not think they will, but I've seen.
Well, here's proof right here, because my mom's side of the family, I just figured that's it. I'll never see him again. They don't want nothing to do with me. And my cousin Lori, I mean, we were close growing up, and she lives in, I think she lives in Tucson now. And oh man, I'm sorry, guys. This is just, I gotta cry because I'm telling you, man, I'm already crying. I'm crying.
Let it out, brother. Go ahead and cry, man. We're here
It's
for
a good
you.
cry. It's a happy cry. It's a happy cry.
There you
guys.
go. There you go.
Yeah, man, it's a happy cry. And Herman, maybe we should tell these guys at 7:30 tonight. We do. I don't know if there's any Catholics out there, but we do a rosary meeting, and I've been probably about a year now. I've been pretty steady on there. So every Wednesday we do a rosary meeting. Maybe we could put the link up or something, Herman. We need some more people to come in, and if you guys are Catholic, we do the rosary every week, and we all take turns in reading it and stuff, and we say prayers. And most people in our rosary group have families who have been to prison. A lot of us have been to prison. We help people that are in prison. It's all prison-related rosary, as best I can say it. Maybe you want to say some more about that, Herman?
Yeah, we started a prayer group right after COVID kicked in. We started a prayer group because we weren't visiting with one another, and we wanted to continue our fellowship together as people in the program. So we started a prayer group, and one of the brothers, in fact, you know him well, Sean, was doing a rosary at the federal pen. He did a rosary over 1,000 times. I mean, every night he would do the rosary. So when he came out, he connected with our program, and he's now one of our mentors. And I heard he did that, and we said, well, let's do a rosary once a week. So we got it going now for a while. It's open to anybody. It doesn't matter if you're Catholic or not. If you just want to pray, come and visit with us. Maybe what you can do, Sean, is people can send you their email, and we can then send them the link. If anybody wants to join us, it's 7:30 Mountain Time. That's our time here in Albuquerque, and we just pray once a week, and we pray for the world. A lot of crazy things are happening. The prayer focused on praying for people in prison, their families, for any victims that survived any, negative activity that was perpetrated by the person in prison, and any survivors. So there are many people that survive criminal activities, and we pray for them as well. So that's the focus of the prayer group. But we pray for everything.
Yeah,
we pray.
We sure do. We sure do.
And again, that's one of the things about recovery that's really important is your spirituality. You need to reconnect. At least that's what we believe. You need to connect with your higher power. You guys know that from AA and NA. They talk about your higher power. And it's really important that you stay connected to your higher power. That's going to give you strength. It's going to help you be resilient and bounce back. There are thousands of people that have bounced back from being in prison and have gotten out and have changed their lives. Thousands and thousands of people that are doing really excellent. But it takes time. You got to be patient, because you're not going to get out and everything is going to be hunky-dory. People are not going to trust you. We talked about that. You got to be honest.
I've been out 2.5 years now, and It's not easy. It takes time and it takes work. You can't sit on the couch and just wait for things to happen. You got to, God will be there with you if you do the footwork. And yes, I'm going to preach about a little bit about God because you know what? It's my channel. I can do that. But God has blessed me. You know what I mean? If you don't like God, then turn the channel. That you have that choice today.
All right.
I'm sorry, but let me catch up on some of these comments. Oh, my cousin Lori, she said, I'm still on. And Katrina says, Lori Carson, God bless you. And here's more from my cousin. God is the ultimate healer, and we need to remember that regardless of our past, we forgive. Oh, you'll make me cry. You'll make me cry. I am crying. And Lori says, you were always my favorite little cousin. Oh, man. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, man, this is very emotional for me. Okay. And then she says, "Oh man, God, I'm so well. I'm gonna cry, guys. See, people come back to your life. It just, she's got another one here. You need to put on the armor of God to protect ourselves from the fury of darts. Wow. Yeah, guys, this is a very emotional show for me and a lot of you guys who watch this channel. Lori, I'm on Twitter and I'm on Facebook, YouTube right now. I have this channel called Federal Prison Talk. It's been about 2 years now, and so I have a few thousand followers on there. But I'm also on Facebook, and I got a lot of people that watch me. I help them get through their times of trouble, getting ready to go to prison. I was 4 years on federal pretrial, not knowing if I'm going to get 20 years, 10 years probation. And that was worse than going to prison. I went to a federal prison camp and it was kind of easy. It's a camp. I went to the white collar world of prison, so I didn't have it that bad. But then you get out and you struggle. And I had nothing when I got out. I have people like Herman in my life right now. Me and Herman, we see each other in person, and I get to do things for Herman. Like I helped him make these infomercials for Thresholds. It was great to do that. And Herman's just been a guy. He's been there for me. But none of these people would be in my life if I wasn't trying to turn it all around. And
Right.
Herman is out there trying to reach out to people coming out of prison and help them turn their lives around. And Michael and a lot of the guys I met that you have as mentors and mentees. I mean, Herman, you have done so much for so many people, Herman. And you have family, Herman, that still won't talk to you, right? So you can imagine my cousin Lori. I could imagine how this makes you feel. Do you want to talk about want to talk about that, Herman, about your family that won't talk to you?
Now, I still have family that don't trust me, that they find out the work that I'm doing and they say, well, wonder what con he's doing on people, and that's just the way it is. People, certain family members are not going to trust you and not going to open their hearts to you. But one thing that your cousin is saying there is so important. You gotta show that you're doing positive things. One of the sisters a little while ago made a comment that the prosecutors are going to throw everything, whatever they can throw at you, they're going to throw at you. And that's correct. That's why what you got to do is take the people that are working with you to court, to the prosecutor, and say, hey, this is Sean, and Sean is a counselor at the XYZ program, and he's been working with me 3 months, and I've taken 100 urines, and 90 of them are clean. I've done this, I've done that. So if the prosecutors see that you're really trying, okay, honestly, that's why I said I got 90 clean urines out of 100, okay? I'm trying to be honest, right? They're going to know that. They're going to be able to determine whether or not you're being straight up, and they're going to know if you're really trying to make a change in your life. So even though prosecutors, can be dirty and nasty and hostile, you're going to get some that will be able to see what you're doing in your recovery, and they'll take those things into consideration before sentencing. And if there are issues that they want to discuss with your judge, etc. Also, if your attorney sees that you're changing, he or she can then also present that to the court and say, hey, they're involved in this, they're doing that. They're doing community service before you even sentence them to community service. You got to think out of the box in your recovery. So community service is one of the things that a lot of people are sentenced to do. Well, why don't volunteer to work with kids or the disabled or whatever? So you got to really think creatively, just the same way, we think creatively when we want to get high, and we got to go out and cop some dope or drink or, mix, have a bottle of water. It looks like a bottle of water, and what's in there is vodka. We're creative to get high.
The Faderade mixed with Gatorade. I know all the tricks. Yeah.
The Gatorade.
Faderade.
You got to think out of the box, and you got to work on your recovery all the time, using spirituality, using the Creator, your higher power, because that's the one thing that will never abandon you, will never leave you. The Bible says it. The nice thing about the Bible is that, it says, hey, when I was in prison, you visited me. And that's partly what we do. We visit those that are in prison. We're not going to throw stones at people. I tell people that, in my particular case, you don't pick up a stone. You got to pick up a boulder, because I did some sick stuff. I was a sick pup. And when we're sick, we do a lot of weird stuff. And so I don't throw no stones, not at all.
I don't want to be one of those, you watch these prison movies and these guys find God in the Bible and they want to preach and all. But when I went to prison, I did find God. I didn't become I wasn't a Bible thumper, nothing like that. I went and I talked to God every night. At prison, I'd walk the track and I'd look up in the sky and I was talking to God, and I got in touch with myself. I found out, the meaning of my life. People want to always know what is the meaning of life, but in prison, I got to find out the meaning of my life and my relationship with God, and and God is still with me. God brought me here to Albuquerque. So, I got out of prison, guys, in San Francisco. The last place on my list of states to move to, New Mexico was not on the list. It wasn't even in the top 20. Okay. This is the last place I was. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Yeah, right. In there. And here I am. God called me here. The Wings for Life and Ann and all that. And they found my channel and we called each other. Next thing you know, she's calling my probation officer. He's giving me permission to come to Albuquerque to go help people getting out of prison. I got my job now because I went to prison. How in the world does somebody get a job because they went to prison? God, that's God's doing. I have nothing to do with this, Herman. God brought me to you. I mean, how many people, you don't go to prison and get a job. Hey, we found out you went to prison. We want to hire you. That happened to me. That happened to me. Who can say that? That's God. That's God. That's all I can say. That there is a God. He exists. And, he's keeping me alive today. Here's a new comment. Let's see. This is a long one. Optimistically cynical. That's the name of the guy. Let's see. I took my son to the park, and when we got home, we found his goldfish dead, which is a tough situation for any parent. How do you explain autoerotic asphyxiation to a 4-year-old? Can you answer that one, Herman? I don't have an answer. Do you?
Well, I think the idea is to teach children that, things end. There's a beginning and there's an ending to life. And that while we're alive, we got to take advantage of it and do a lot of great things. But that eventually, we're called home to Jesus, home to God. And when that happens, the body that we have kind of leaves us and we go up in our spirit self. Remember, Christians believe that we are immortal beings. We live forever. And that's our philosophy. And it's not the only denomination that believes that. There are many denominations that believe that, we are immortal. So that's one way of explaining it. But I'm not sure what that has to do with prison and stuff, but certainly...
I think it has to do with God or something.
Yeah, probably, how to talk to kids about
right.
things that are really sad and, inevitable in life. But these are real things, and we call that reality testing, right? That you gotta help people understand the reality of the situation. So I think that's one way of handling it,
Right.
I'm not sure if that's going to help that brother or not, but I hope it does help. The other thing, that you were talking about, Sean, is, belief in a higher power. Denominations don't matter. You can be Muslim, you can be Jewish, you can be Sikh. It doesn't matter. All humans, most human beings in most cultures believe in a higher power. And there's usually some kind of text. In our case, it's the Bible or the Quran or the Old
or the
Testament,
Torah, sure.
etc. And these are the things that we as humans use to, understand our purpose on this planet and understand the things that are great and beautiful, and understand the things that are not so great and beautiful. But they help us live. The idea is to help us live in peace and harmony, and to help one another, and eliminate all the negativity on the planet. So the recovery process allows us to do it at a macro level, right? Not only a micro level, it's a personal level, but then at a macro level. So you're talking about at a very profound social level. So recovery encompasses so many different parts of who we are and the society we live in, and how we live in our society, how we forgive one another for our own trespasses and wrongdoings. But God wants us to be happy. He loves it. Are you kidding? That story in the Bible where, Jesus is walking on the water. Could you imagine that? He must have been laughing his butt off, and that while his followers were, scared stiff, and he's just walking along on the water. He must have been such a jokester.
He was probably skipping.
Yeah,
he was probably skipping. Look at me, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Herman, maybe we ought to talk about when you get out of prison, how important recovery is. Because even if you think you're a social drinker and all, you get out of prison and you're on parole or probation. And now there are a few people that have a clause where they can drink not to excess, but most of us, they're going to drug test you and they're going to alcohol test you. And a lot of the probations now, like they're doing the 80-hour drug test. So not only are they checking for cocaine and meth and opiates and all that, there's an extra strip, the 80-hour alcohol. And if you want to continue to drink, you think you did your time, now you can have, now it's Miller time. It's not Miller time. It's violation time for you. And Herman, you deal with guys getting out of prison. Let's talk about how many people you've seen relapse and go back to prison. Maybe you can touch base on some of that stuff. Got some stories for us?
Oh yeah, listen. When what I tell the guys, the men and women, is that relapse is inevitable. A lot of people don't like me to say that. They say, now, what are you telling people? You're telling them that they're going to relapse, and you got to be ready for anything when you get out. Because as soon as you get out, you're going to be walking down the road and you're going to bump into one of your old running partners or one of your buddies, and they're going to say, hey, let's celebrate. You just got out. And they're going to say, here's a little Coke. here's a little gram of Coke. You don't have to pay me anything. Let's
Yeah,
celebrate.
you earned it. You just did 5 years. You earned this, man.
Yeah, you
Sure.
earned it. Next thing you know, you're starting some Coke. You're going down the block. Then you start to drink because you're too fired up. So you want to come down and you take a couple of shots of scotch. And then next thing you know, you're fighting in a bar and you're locked up again. So you got to be careful when you get out. You're going to be tempted to get high. You're going to experience a lot of cravings and urges. And what we do is help people talk about it and say, hey, I feel like drinking. I'm not going to drink today, right now, but I feel like drinking. And we certainly encourage people to go to 12-step programs, counseling programs, get involved in music activities that are sober, whatever activity, dance activities, art, whatever activity you want to get into that's going to help you remain sober is so, so important. And you got to look at the warning signs that impact you and warning signs are things that are going to help you look at things that may make you drink or drug again. And the stress can be a warning sign. Peer pressure can be a warning sign. Family problems can be a warning sign. And when you experience
family can really be a factor, whether they left you or they're here for you now, but now you're going to do things their way, and I just got out of prison. All that, and you want to take over and run the household again, but they've been doing fine without you gone, and all that's going to drive you. That can drive you to drink and relapse.
Yep. Having unrealistic expectations that you're going to come out and you're going to get a job right away and you're going to get a car right away and you're going to get an apartment. Unless you got a lot of money, most people that I know coming out of prison have to work for those things. Okay.
Yes.
And you're going to have to bust your chops and you set a plan of action. We create goals and objectives for people coming out of the various prisons that we work with, and we try to be very realistic. Again, that reality testing.
Realistic, good word.
Yeah,
realistic.
Real, and you start out slow, and the main thing is your recovery, staying sober, if that's an issue, or if you have mental health issues, making sure you get medication to help you address the problems. I know people that are addicted to, pornography or, to prostitution. Whatever your addiction is, you got to address it, and you got to get involved in a treatment situation that's going to help you talk about those things and develop some goals and action steps so that you don't go backwards in your life, but that you go forward and you do things that are going to be helpful to you and not hurt you. And that can be very complicated depending on your situation. We've worked with people coming out of prison for 2-3 years. We've worked with people coming out of prison for 30 years, 20 years, 15 years. For every single offense, you name it, we've seen it. And we've worked with hundreds of people. So we're not just saying this from to be spiritually enlightening. We're talking about the reality of prison life, pre-prison life, and dealing with all the issues that come with criminality and addictions. And the beauty of this message is that you can change. Things can get better for you, but you got to work at it. Doesn't come for free. You got to work at it, but there are thousands of people in recovery, thousands of people that have left prison and not returned to prison. So there's hope.
Yeah, and you don't see CNN and even Fox News, they're not going to tell you that, but we're telling you that thousands of people have turned their life around.
That's right.
But it all starts with believing in yourself. And in order to believe in yourself, sometimes you need another person to believe in you just a little bit, because somebody believed in me, and that in turn got me to believe in myself just a little bit. Yep. And today I believe in myself, but not this much. I only believe in myself this much, but it's way better than that much. And tomorrow I'll believe in myself even more. And I got people in Herman in my life today that really make me believe in myself that much more. I got a long way to go, guys. I haven't even begun yet, but I have begun. And I want you guys to be part of that. My information's down below. Herman's information's down below. I think we got to wrap it up, Herman. It's been about an hour. We got to get to our rosary meeting, me and Herman here. But Herman, I'm going to give you the last words here. Okay.
Well, I appreciate it, Sean, and I just want to tell folks not to give up, to have faith, but to also work at making changes that are going to benefit you. You can't just have faith and do nothing. You got to take action. And we're here to help one another. That's the other aspect of this. You guys were just talking about that, Sean, that we help each other. That's what recovery is all about. You know, one brother is not doing well, you give him a hand and help him stand up. And you never hurt people when you're on your way up. You always humble yourself and give of yourself. And as you do that, you develop your connection with your higher power, with the universal spirit, and we make the world a better place to live in. Sounds kind of corny, but that's the reality. That's been my experience.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of things in my days, a lot of sad things, but I've seen a lot of incredible, fantastic things as well. So keep the faith.
I got a message here from my cousin. Let me read this real quick. It's a long one, though. It says, one last thing before I go. One out of my 6 daughters is a recovering addict. She has been clean 5 years as of Monday, and I couldn't be more proud of her. She never had to do prison time, but she did go to jail for 6 weeks, and her attorney honestly thought she would have to go to prison. But the judge, hold on, I got to, where to go? But the judge was a man of an addict that died in prison from a drug overdose, and knew prison would not be the place for her, mainly because of the support she had with her family. She used again shortly, and it was, and then it cut off. Maybe there's more. So that's my cousin Lori. Now, when I knew her, she only had 2 kids. It's been that long. She has 6 daughters now. See, that's how long. That's how long my family was. That's what I did. I mean, it's all me. I did it to my family. You can't blame your family for not talking to you guys. You did it to them. And until you realize that and take accountability, you did it to your family. You're the one who went to prison. They didn't go to prison. You're the one who broke the law. You're the one who went to jail. You're the one who lost your job. You're the one who's homeless on the streets now. They didn't do it. You did it. Okay? So I'm just saying, and until you can take accountability and get past that, and I'm here to help you. I'm not judging you, but I am judging you. Okay? And God is judging you.
All right.
I don't mean to be a hard ass, but you don't want to be. It took me, I was 52 years old before I finally got it, guys. But I got it. Thank God. 52, 22, I finally got it. But I don't want you to be 52. I want you to get it by the time you're 22. I don't even want you know what I'm saying. Anyways, I'm sorry, Herman. I had to throw that in there.
Listen, God bless you and all of your viewers. May you be enlightened by the Great Spirit now and always, brother.
Lori, thank you, Lori. God bless you. My number's underneath the videos, Lori, and I'll be in touch with you. I know I've been hitting like buttons on your Facebook, and I guess you saw that. So, because I was too scared to reach out. Now I don't have to be. I am still a little, but anyways. See, I got some family back in my life, all thanks to you guys watching and Herman. Herman, I'll see you we got to get ready for this road.
We'll see you in a little while, brother. God bless.
God bless, guys. Good night.
Take care, everybody. Take care.